All right, good morning, good afternoon. Mr. Mancy is here. We're going to go ahead and get started with Game Over. I believe this is day 11 for you guys. We're going to add a title to it so when we hit 0, when we finish playing, we're going to see right here Game Over. And there's going to be a box here that gives us the option to either start again or finish the game. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. Okay, so we're working with the canvas itself. So we're going to be using this canvas right here. Don't remember, this is your scene down here. This is your canvas. All right, this is where we've been putting all the UI stuff in it. So don't get those too confused. Remember, you have to zoom out a little bit so you can be able to see both boxes. But the main box that we're going to be working on today will be this canvas, this big canvas here. Okay. What we're going to need is a panel, which is just another piece of this canvas that we're going to add. So we're going to right click over here to canvas. We're going to click on canvas, right click it, and then we're going to look for UI, and then we're going to look for the UI panel. The panel is what we're looking for. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do that. And you notice that the panel stretched out pretty good. I took over the whole scene, the whole canvas. So we're going to go ahead and change that. And the way we change that is we come over here. You notice it says stretch. We're going to go ahead and change that. And we're going to change that to the center. Let me see if I can find center. Let me see where it went. I think. All right, so we're going to lock it in with the center one. The center one is right here under middle and center. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and lock it into the center. Then we're going to go ahead and decrease the size of it. I'm going to use the rect tool or the rectangle tool just to decrease the size a bit, kind of center it out here. Let me see what this will do. 0 and 0 that out, so that's a little bit more centered. Okay, so if you make all these 3 zeros, you should be okay right there. I think that looks pretty good. I think that's enough to show me I got something there. Yeah, that's good enough right there. Okay. So the next thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and rename this panel, and that way you guys can know what we're talking about. And this one will be the Game Over panel. Over and panel. And we're going to probably add some children to this also. So that means it'll be attached to the Game Over panel. So keep that in mind. Hope you guys remember how to child another object. Okay, so we're going to be doing that here in a second. All right, so Game Over panel. Let's add a child to that. We're going to add a button. Let's see where we can find the buttons because they changed everything on me. There's a button right there. So we're going to go ahead and move in here and move our button around a little bit. We're going to put the button down at the bottom left. Okay, and then inside that button, we're also going to add text. So I want to go ahead and add a text to the, oh, did it wrong, I'm sorry. Let me get back out of here. I meant to do it on the Game Over panel. Sorry guys. Delete that. Okay, Game Over panel. UI Text Mesh Pro. There we go. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and move this up a little bit. And we're going to center that right there. We're going to go ahead and change this text right here. All right, and this new text will say, all right, so I had a little issue. I had to restart my Unity, and I'm going to go ahead and Go back in here. We already did the game over panel. We already did the button. So the next thing I need to do is add a text, another text box under the UI. I'm going to go ahead and go Text Mesh Pro right here. And that is centered the way I like it already. Gotta zoom in a little bit. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. Where'd it go? Come on. There we are. All right, just a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and center that using these tools over here. I'm going to go ahead and center it. I'm going to go ahead and change the text to Game Over. Okay, I'm going to cap lock that. Game Over. All right. Maybe make my box a little bit bigger so it doesn't do that to me. There we go. And we're going to go left a little bit. All right. So that looks pretty good. Let me see how it looks over here in the game. Okay, yeah, that looks good. Things you can do to change it. You can make it bold. You can change your font style. You can change your font size. You can play with that. This right here a little bit. You can even change the color of the lettering, right? All right, so that's bold right there. That's bold. Okay, so let's stretch it out a little bit more. Right there. Game over. Take away the italics. Let me see what else I got here. Center, left screen, center, right screen. Okay, that's if you had a lot of text there. Center that there. Okay. All kinds of things you guys can play with. I'm going to keep going. Okay, so moving on. All right, so let's go back over here. We have the button. When you create a button comes in two pieces. Okay. Let me move this so we don't get too confused with that. Okay, there we go. So button. It comes in two pieces. You got the actual button that you're going to be pressing, but you also have text in there. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and change that text. Instead of it saying button, we want it to say, let's say play again. Okay, you don't need to capitalize it or anything, but I have my cap locks on, so play again. Okay, just like that. All right, so let's see what we got. Play again. We can mess with this button here. If you want to change the color of the button, you can do that here. Let's go with a lighter blue, maybe. There we go. Maybe that color right there. Something to contrast what we got right there. The text, you can also mess with the text color. The text color, I'm going to go ahead and go with red again. And also, again, if you need to change anything here, you can. Feel free. Don't mess it up too bad, please. All right. So now that you have it set up the way you want it, you can rename this button. I'm going to rename this button. I'm going to do play again. And button, play again button. Once I'm satisfied with that, I'm going to go ahead and duplicate it. That way, you don't want two contrasting things, right? So I'm going to go ahead and duplicate it. And I'm going to drag it over here. All right. Now, obviously, this is not going to be a play again button. This one's going to be a little bit different. This one's going to be your quit button. So let's go ahead and rename that as our quit button. So QUIT. All right, quit button. And let's change the text on that too. Okay, so use your drop down arrow. Go to the text. Change that to quit. All right. And so far so good. All right, nothing looks great. Now we need these buttons to interact with our game. You know what? I don't like that gray. Let's see what we can do about that canvas. Game over panel. Let's see what we got here. go. That looks a little bit better. Let me see. So yeah, like I said, we're gonna have this stuff interact now with our game where we can play, and we will be able to actually quit or play again. Okay. All right. So the next thing we want to do is figure out where we want to turn this off at. So what we're gonna be doing is turning it off and on. When we are playing the game, we want it off and not activated until the game is over. Okay, so we're gonna put this in the player. So let's open this up. Okay, and let's figure out where we're gonna put this. All right, so let's go ahead and create a link to the game panel first. We're going to go here in the public class. Let's go ahead and put it on here. Public game object. And it's going to be the game over panel. So it's game over panel. Close that out. And this is the link to the game over panel. Okay, obviously. So now that we have our link, let's go ahead and save that. And you know what? This is a panel in the scene, just so we don't create any confusion. Again, let's save that again. Minimize this, go back to my Unity, let Unity update itself. Alright, so once Unity updates itself, we're going to go ahead and select player 1 because that is our game object that we need to go ahead and put in here. So we're going to look for a game over panel. Here it is right here. We're going to go ahead and drag it and drop it in there. Alright, so that is our game over panel. And now it knows what the link is, and we can go ahead and move on to the next part. So right now we have the panel that's going to be showing up while we're playing, so we don't want that while we're playing. We want it to be off, okay? We want it to be off while we're playing and not come on until we hit the, that magic number of 0. So let's go back inside our player 1. What I want to do is I want to set the active to false. So make myself a little comment here. I want to turn off the game over panel. And then let's go ahead and do that by typing in the name of it, game over panel. Right there, here it is. Game over panel dot, and the command for that is set active. Set active, and that's going to be false. So when I hit play, I should not see the game over panel, and it's going to be false. Okay. Let me see if I did that right. Yeah. Okay. Save it. Come over here and let this take over. And once the script has assembled, we're going to go ahead and test it to make sure our game over panel does not show up while we are playing real quick. Alright, good. It's not there. Alright, so now the next thing we need to do is set it up to where it will pop up when we hit that magic number of 0. Okay? Alright, so let's go ahead and go back into our here. So now we want to go ahead and turn it off. So what I want to do is I'm just going to copy this. Control C, and then, well, you know what, let me copy everything because I'm going to make a note down there too. So copy all of it, Control C, make your way down, and let's look for one that says Game Over right here. Nice area. Let's go ahead and Control V that right here. But instead of off, we want it to turn on, right? And here it's going to change from false to true. Okay, so once this happens, this should come on. Okay, so let's go ahead and run a quick test and check that out. When I hit 0 lives, I should see my panel come up. Alright, so I'm gonna die. Nope. Hit me. There it is. Boom. Now we got a game over panel. So now we need to make these active. Okay. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start with the play again button. Okay, play again button. When I click the play again button, I want it to reload my scene. My scene name in this case is sample scene for right now. So there's a few things we need to do inside the player one script. First off, we need to go ahead and create a new function for it. So this will be a void function, and the name of it will be play again. Okay, and there will be no value to that, so it'll just be that. And let's not forget our curly brackets, our beginning and ending. Add a few steps here. I'm going to add a few comments. This is going to be getting called from the button, so I'm going to add that comment here. Play again will be called from the play again button. Okay. We're also going to make the code to restart it, so it'll be a restart code. Will restart the game. Alright, and that code is going to look a little bit like this. You're going to start off with a scene manager. Scene manager, and that's going to be dot load scene. Okay, so right now we're telling it to get ready to load up a scene. It doesn't know which scene yet, so we're going to have to tell it. It's going to be scene manager dot, and you're going to get the active scene, right? So you're going to get active scene. All right. It doesn't know which one yet, so I'm just going to say the current name, right? By doing that, and then close this out. One more thing I forgot to do. We need to go back up to the top, and we're going to have to add some scene management. Okay, so up here, anytime you're messing with your scenes, you need to add a scene management. So we need to let Unity know that we are using Unity Engine, and it's going to be the dot scene management. Okay, just like that. So now the system knows that I need to use EC management. Okay, so we're going to save that. Make sure no errors, everything looks good. Okay, pay attention to where these brackets are at, folks. Okay, now we need to go back to Unity, and now we need to go to our button so we can link it to this. So this is our play again button. Inside our play again button, we need to scroll down, and right here is where we're going to be going to, the on click area. So make sure everybody finds that. Okay, so before we click here, one last thing I forgot to do. We need to come over here to File and Build Settings. That way it knows what scene is open. So right now we need to make sure that sample scene is checked. If you don't see it up here, just click here where it says Add Open Scenes, and just make sure that this matches the one that you are currently on. Okay, I am currently on sample scene. I look here at build settings, and sample scene is there, so it knows to use that one. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and click on here. Notice it doesn't know what object it wants you to use. We know our player is the object where the script is at, so we're going to go ahead and put that there. We're going to look for the function that we want to use, and that function is under player 1, and the one we are looking for is not here because I forgot to make it public, so I need to go back to my player 1 and make that public because it's not going to be able to be seen by the Unity. Okay. Oh, I forgot to save it. So hold on, let me see. Oop, right there, hit save. So now it should be updating itself, and now I should be able to see it when I click on it again here. Play again button. Scroll down. Come here. Player 1. And there it is right there. Play again. Okay, so that's the function I want it to be called. Alright. So now this play again button should be functional. Let's go ahead and hit file save. And let's go ahead and give it a shot and give it a try. Alright, so let's come here. There we go. So now it's good. Alright. Alright, so the next button we need to work on is the quit button, very similar to what we just did. So let's go back to our player 1. Let's go ahead and just tidy up a bit. We're going to create another void, and remember this time we do need to start off with public. Okay, public void, and this one's going to be quits. Okay. Alright, then let's not forget our brackets, and this is the application that will close the window out. Okay, so if you're playing in a window mode, it will close the window out. This will close out the window for the game. Okay, and that code is going to be application, and that application is going to be dot quit. Okay, and close that out with semicolon. Alright, so what's next? What do we got to do next? Oh, save it, of course. Alright, so like I said again, keep in mind that it's not going to close out the scene or the game view. It's actually going to close out the window when you play in the windowed mode, which is what we're prepping for. Remember, you guys, when we build settings, we actually build it in a window format through WebGL. So that's what we're accomplishing here. We need to go ahead and tie this button up. So let's go to quit button. Let's go here, hit that plus sign, and then we need to tie the object, which is the player 1 object for me. Put it right there. Now I need to go ahead and tie this function to the button. It is from player 1, and it is the quit function. Okay, and there it is. Alright, let's save it. And again, it's not going to work because we are in this mode. We need to be in the windowed mode, and once we are in the windowed mode, then we are able to clear out of that. Okay. I think if you do maximize, I think it might work in maximize, but I'm not going to try it right now. Let's see what else I got to do. Alright, so for this video we accomplished what we needed to accomplish. We got the game over build, we got to play again, and we got a quit. The next video we're going to talk about adding some power-ups, some background, things of that nature. So this is day 11 and it is concluded. Thank you very much.